Mic check, mic check. Happy Sunday, everybody. Highway 54 family in the house. We about to go live. We live right now, but gonna be back in about 2 minutes. All right. Love, share, like, subscribe, everybody. Stay tuned.
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Highway 54 back in the house. It is 2023. Is this the last Sunday of January?
It sure is. Sure is.
29 January. Wow, Christmas is pretty close now. Closer, right? I am very optimistic of what's going to be happening in 2023. Me and Anthony were always talking about, forward thinking, entrepreneurial stuff, and stuff we can do to build that residual income. Don't forget about that wallet. He catch Coach Anthony and his podcast every Wednesday. He does some interviews here and there also. Actually, a lot of interviews. I've been lagging with interviews. I did it a couple from UFC to business owners to reporters of friends of mine. But I haven't had a time, man. I've just been getting over a cold.
Just got to schedule them in because at this point, I've done over 90 plus interviews.
Yeah.
And so I'll be releasing interview every Tuesday. And then I do my own live shows on Wednesdays.
Nice. Yeah. Dude, so proud of man. You've been building your audience, doing the content and being consistent and networking with people, like-minded people, understanding the value of the content and building each other's brand. And so what happened, Carla? Carla and Deethia will be back soon. But yeah, dude, it's been promising. I've just been so busy and I need to find the time and get my groove back in and start doing interviews. But every time we do stuff here, whether with our podcast and doing stuff here, it's practice, bantering, when to listen, when to enter, when to make jokes and here and there. And I like to play off you guys as my part of my joke. It's never planned, and you can plan your whole podcast as much as you can, right? And sometimes it's just it goes on a different topic, when you interject when there's a long, long, not rant, but long, statement, and try to move things along and do segments here and there, try something new and all that. So I've been really, really proud that you've been growing, learning from us, learning from each other, and your podcasts are just even a lot better. So
Man, I learned a lot from you actually. So thank you.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, you got the whole setup, and obviously the investment in the materials that you get, for equipment, it makes your job easier to do, and you can make your podcast even lively with, depending on your, what do you call it, your characteristics, your character. You make these little sounds here. And of course, pod decks.
Yep.
We love pod decks if you want to play games or ask different questions. So it helps out. Welcome to Carla. I know Mama, what's her name? Koopman?
Cotman.
Cotman?
Cartman.
Well, Mama Barbara. I'm gonna say Mama
Barbara.
Barbara is
Yeah,
in the house over there. But hopefully she'll guest in. So we got some good topics today, and I was kind of waiting for Carla to do that. But one of the topics here is you guys heard about the Passport Brothers movement?
I did not until you mentioned it earlier.
Right, and I shared some links about that. So we're going to talk. That's one of our main topics there. But also, you shared a while ago about woman sees late husband who died 9 years ago
Yes.
eating at a restaurant. Basically, there is a twist at the end that I want to talk to you guys about that. And of course, we have "Am I the Asshole," which you're going to really, really enjoy. So. I wonder what we're gonna do. Wait for Carla and D3.
Okay. I mean, we can go to a topic that's near and dear to y'all right now if you want.
Yeah. So, how about we do about that wallet right now? We do that.
Oh, MDB.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second here and rock and roll.
What up, everybody? So, my name is Anthony, and I am the host of the About That Water podcast show. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you all about is the use of AI. AI has been coming around the corner just like the old lady riding the bus. You never know when she's going to come around. But we have to understand how to utilize AI, not just run away from it. It's almost like how the computers, when they first came out, it was like, oh no, they're taking out jobs. What are we going to do? You need to master it, learn how to use it, and get ahead of it. And the best way to get ahead of it is to use it and get yourself familiar with it. One of the ways to get familiar with AI is there's a free tool called Chat GPT. You might have heard about it. It is actually an application that you can go out there on a website, just type it. You can ask it anything you want to. It's really cool. It does deep dives. You can have a full-blown conversation as if you're typing to somebody else. And that's one thing I like about it. It's actually helping me write my book at this point. Because if I stayed on it long enough, I could have written my whole book in a matter of 4 hours.
What?
200, yeah, almost like a 500, not 500, 50,000 word book. I could have been able to complete just from using Chat GPT in 4 hours. So if you ever have writer's block, test it out. It's really great. But one of the things that I did ask it, because we're talking about the money segment here, is I said, what are the 10 money topics that we need to discuss more? And its response were saving and investment for retirement, budgeting and reducing debt, building emergency savings. I'm going to just number 4 to keep track. Understanding credit score and improving credit. Number 5, building a home and managing mortgage payments. Number 6, understanding traces and maximizing. Understanding taxes and maximizing deductions. Protecting against fraud and identity theft. Number 8, saving for college education. Number 9, estate planning and managing inheritance. And number 10, understanding insurance and choosing coverage wisely. Now, most of these topics I've already covered on my show, but I actually want to open this up to everybody else. What are the money topics that you think you should discuss more in your day-to-day life?
Budget. and sticking to it. I'm sure throughout our years, like, okay, I'm only going to spend $20 or $40 for lunch and dinner, something like that, and try to stick to it. Gas, okay, I spend like $60 a week, whatever, for gas, and so yeah, like budget wise, what a reasonable way of budgeting your life, and can people actually do that and stick to it? And then what do you do if you go still under? Do you save the money and put it somewhere else? And so kind of like that budget.
Yeah, I think usually once you get the hang of it, it's almost like your eating habits. Once you fall off, or you say like you went off the rails, you had that McDonald's one day, you know how to pick yourself back up. Same thing with your money. You gotta do it. You gotta treat it the same way.
Yep. Yeah, I've stuck to a budget for a while eating lunch or bringing lunch to work. I've done that a couple times, but I feel like, man, sometimes you get lazy, right? Cooking for yourself and like packing it up and all that. And so I wish I had my wife with me. She'd be cooking food for me every day. I buy the food, you cook it, and just pack it up.
Yep.
Caller D3, are you guys good? Mike, I see your microphone.
We are good.
Okay.
We're just fixing the camera.
But also, like, I think we talked about this many times over. Inputting, highly educating, and instituting financial education in the early years of our kids' school, whether that be elementary or middle school and all that, and really have them like, okay, open your first account during a certain age, and talking about investments and cash and taxes and just main things, and then of course investing. Like if they started $10 a month on something, that could blow up, by the time they're in high school or college. That could be some good money.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm noticing that a lot of people would do, is just do a lot of budgeting in a vacuum. So when you hear these numbers and so forth, make sure that you're not listening to the vacuum. Try to take care of it. Take it as not like a grain of salt, but take it more so like a side of one of your dishes. Like it's there, but it's not the main course. Your main course, life happens. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yeah.
the meat turns out pretty good. Sometimes it doesn't. But the sides of that kind of make it work out. You might have over salt, the main, but you got less salt in the other side. So make some.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a decent meal.
Yeah. What would you guys like to talk about money? What was more important to you guys right now, Carla and D3?
You said what's more important? When you say what's more important to you is budget?
Well, something that you like to learn more about.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I asked Chat GPT, was one of the things that we don't talk about more in America. The top 10 things that we don't talk about, and that's what I was reading off earlier.
What would I like to learn more about? I would like to learn more about, and are we talking finances?
Yeah.
Okay. Reparations.
Ooh.
Now I'm serious. Everybody quiet.
No.
I heard about reparations. They come in different forms, so that's interesting.
Yeah, they do come in different forms, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, even if they like, fuck it, you guys pay my rent for my whole life, my mortgage for my whole life, I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's better than nothing, right? Paying your rent, paying your mortgage. Like, yeah, give me $3,000 a month for my rent.
See what happens. I mean, they never gave us reparations to actually see what's going to happen. People say they're going to spend it up. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Yep.
Well, do like a tester, right, for one state or one city, and say, hey, all right, let's.
I heard something was going on in California. Did you hear something about that, Anthony?
About
reparations in California. They were talking about that.
I heard about it, but I didn't do a deep dive into it.
I didn't either. I think because it didn't hit Maryland.
Yeah.
They need reparations in California because it's high as a mug out there.
Yeah, but look outside my window. We got the beaches, say, got the oceans.
But you ain't got the Super Bowl. Oh,
No. Hey. To your city's credit, I've like Sergeant Yates, my boy Jimmy out there, all from Philly. You got your team is hot right now. Your teams are hot. Teams are hot right now. Flying. I mean, you're not just winning; you're blowing people out of the water, pretty much. All right, so yep, that's Coach Anthony again. Check him out every Wednesday. He goes live, and then of course he has these interviews that happens pretty much weekly now. And so interesting topics. Please join him. Like, subscribe about that wallet, and come support. He does have merch, and so that's a good way to support. Cool. All right, so the hot topic you guys brought to me. Stand by. All right. Have you guys heard about the Passport Brothers? Hashtag Passport Brothers. The Passport movement.
No, I didn't know nothing about it until today.
I didn't even get to look. I didn't even get to watch it or look at it or anything like that. So I haven't.
Okay. So let me explain. There's a headlines out there. These guys started out TikTok. One of their not leaders, but one of the spokespersons of this Passport Brothers. His name is where's his name? Oh my God. Austin Holloman. He started off in TikTok and now is on YouTube. And basically, some of Black women or American women aren't very happy about these Passport Brother movements. They're divided officially right now. The Passport Brother hashtag is divided on the internet. A growing group of thousands of Black men are preaching to more men on social media forums that women in other countries are the best source for a traditional woman to settle down with. Just follow the hashtag Passport Brothers either on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, and you'll find a lot of people trying to give advice and also commenting. You'll see a lot of Black men of all ages describing their experiences with the opposite sex in other countries compared to women in the United States. Most of the content on Travel Noir consists of stories of people traveling and living abroad to find inner peace and happiness as a person of color on this earth. Black people have suffered through so many forms of prejudice in the United States that we've sought after other countries to feel like human beings. The Passport Brothers movement could be seen as an annex to the same inner peace and happiness concept. A group of Black men who don't feel needed and admired by Black women are looking for love overseas. They travel to different destinations worldwide and find happiness with a partner of the opposite sex. What say you? And of course, the Black women or American women are like in awe of like, what the fuck are you guys saying?
I mean, honestly, a lot of people do that already. It's just sad now because, again, once Black people start doing it, it's always, oh, look over there, you guys. Like,
yeah. So they're talking about countries like Brazil, the Caribbean, South America, Asia. This basically subservient, but I don't want to say subservient. I want to say, they're saying less educated. But I think more that women in other countries are groomed or grown or morally taught to grow a family, to have a family, and to be, it's woman versus man, and you take care of the family and the kids and take care of your husband.
Well,
is that yeah?
Like my supervisor at my old job, she's from, I can't remember what part of China she's from. But she was groomed to the point where the man has to be the first one to eat at the table at all times. They are to take care of the man no matter what it is. So as soon as he walks in, his feet get rubbed. He gets massage and everything like that. This is how they're groomed up. Even to the point where when she was meeting his mother, his mother was like, "Why are you doing this? I mean, why aren't you doing this for him? Why aren't you holding his luggage and doing everything like that for him?" Like, other cultures treat things differently, but for you know, for this to be a thing, I'm just thinking of, because of Passport Brothers. I mean, I really think it's just a small, tiny percentage compared to so many people that I've known that got married to other people from other countries and brought them over to the United States. So it's not like a new thing. I just think it's trendy, and they have now something to latch onto.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what it is to me.
here's some of the rebuttals here. Most of the rebuttals of the Passport Brothers are weak black men that don't know how to court a strong black woman. Some women believe that the Passport Brothers' true intentions are to have sex with foreign women, and they're not searching for love.
Well, I see it. You can't have it both ways. Now, on one hand, they're talking about F in free and all this other stuff, and they don't need a man to be independent and do whatever they got to do. But then when he goes somewhere else, you got a problem with that too. I mean, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
At the same time, so do these dudes that are out there, quote unquote, getting these subservient wives that speak a different language, do they understand that crime does happen in other languages too? So that same woman you think is going out there holding you down or whatever, what's making you think she won't get her brother, her cousins that speaks the same language as she does, and you don't? They can't set you up. It happens all the time. Come on, man.
It's crazy because there's a shortage of black men to black women. Like, there's so many. Well, I mean, I don't know why it's got to be a race thing, but I guess it is.
Well,
you say strong.
Yeah. I think because on the social media, there's a lot of content creators of black women coming together, speaking about the Passport Brothers and saying, these guys are going to Brazil and the Caribbeans and South America and
these
Philippines.
Guys, yeah, but these guys are the main ones that when a black woman does go to a white man or another man, outside the race, they're the main ones. It's just like, oh, she went him, da 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 da, and dogging them out and stuff like that. I know for a fact, but they're the main ones that do that.
That goes both ways, though. They got some white women that get black men, and black women are like, "Oh man, how the hell he with her?" But then at the same time,
then
they go to Jamaica.
You got Serena Williams marrying a white dude. Oh, she done hit the jackpot. Or married old girl Meghan Markle. They hit the jackpot. Yeah. So it's a double standard either way.
So are we kind of saying, kind of agreeing that American women, it does not necessarily be black women who are independent, are scaring off American men because of their will to, like, I don't need you for money, right? I got my own money. But also maybe women are having these super high standards of what my partner or man is supposed to be, but the guy's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
But sometimes you throw it in the guy's face so many times in a short time span. It's like, you get tired of hearing that. Oh, I can do that for myself. I understand that, but I chose to open the door for you. Oh, you don't have to do that. Yep. Okay, what the hell am I here for? I'm just not here to pay for your meal.
Exactly.
Well, again, you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about somebody not doing something, but then when they do something, you throw it in their face.
Yeah, so it's like when you say a strong black woman, it's like so many people out here are calling themselves strong black women, and I'm just like,
yeah, well, because these women, these independent women are having a criteria of like, you have to make at least $200,000 a year to even afford me. If you work at McDonald's, you may be a nice person, but you can't afford me. I'm like, see, so guys are turned off by that. Like, excuse me.
Think about that. That doesn't make sense. Why do I have to make that much if you're going to pay for everything yourself if you're independent? What I make shouldn't matter then, right?
Yep.
It's a double standard.
But also, it's like, when it comes to what is considered a strong black man or a strong black woman, like, and then ultimately it's, I don't know, because it depends on the generation too. Because I had my uncle, well, my mom's uncle, he wants somebody that needs him. And I'm like, I don't want nobody that needs me. I want to rather have somebody that wants me than a need, because when you come into a need now, it's like another liability. You become a liability at that
They
point.
bring to the table. Like, no.
Right. Like I might bring the table. Can you at least bring like the tablecloth, some silverware?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying there's lack of chivalry among men?
There is no lack of chivalry.
No.
A lot of times the dudes don't know what chivalry is.
It's a lot of
They're corny.
these little thoughts out here nowadays. They don't even want chivalry for
Yeah.
real, and then when you do give them chivalry or something like that, they don't know how to act. You know what I mean? Like opening the door or something like that. If somebody say thank you, just stupid little stuff. They,
Yep.
or they speak, or if a guy speaks to you or whatever, and that's all he was really doing is speaking to you or whatever, and you got to turn your face up because you think somebody wants you.
Yeah, there's a video
Have you seen you?
Yeah, that Shula King put out about a girl that everything was nice on the date, everything was fine, but she cut him off and got mad at him because he didn't pay for her valet.
What about the lady? What? Yeah, that one. I saw that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you the one that chose valet to park. What I got? They ain't got nothing to do with me. I pay for everything else. Come on, man.
I think there's so much expectations on both sides, right? Or even with if you're gay, same thing. Who's the alpha? Who's the alpha in the relationship? And like I think strong women sometimes will say, "Well, I want an alpha man. I'm an alpha woman, but I want the alpha man to pay for everything." You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute. We're a partner. We're together. I think there's high expectations for both sides. But for me as a guy, and Carla and D3 can maybe have experiences too, where we've known a lot of friends, coworkers who've married, foreign women outside of America. There's good and bad in that, but most of the women are more feminine as far as they're approaching their relationship, as their roles as a relationship. Not all of them, but like I cook, I clean, what I'm saying? I take care of the kids. And maybe some men or most men want that. Whereas an American woman, they're not all about that. They're about their careers or about how much are you going to pay for my rent. You know what I'm saying? So that's why guys are going to other countries, or have been for years, to marry or partner up with a foreign woman.
I mean, think about it from Crazy Rich Asians. I mean, it's pretty much the same understanding. It's like the mother gave up her career to be a housewife.
Mm-hmm.
And when the American girl shows up, it's more like, you're not tradition. You're not worthy because you're not, submitting, leaving your career to the side to deal with a guy. So is that considered a strong woman at that time, or is that just considered just living your life and trying to make it ends meet because it's just you? Like, it's not like you woke up at 18 or 14 and get a husband. So just a mess.
I'm on the fence. I'm like, I kind of agree with some of the things with what these passport brothers are doing, because I've been around it for decades and years, and I understand the reason why they're marrying or dating people outside of America. But I think it's also the fault of these new American strong women that expect so much, and they lose a lot of what the partnership of a man and woman is supposed to be, or our partner is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like they honing in on, like, social media, just honing in onto this particular term. But when white people do it, it's just, that's typically what they do. I mean, our prior president had somebody from another country. Like, why couldn't he find anybody here? You know what I'm saying? So
both of his wives was like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, why couldn't you find anybody local? And then that's going to be the ultimate question, because you see a lot of people that come over and get married, but it's like, it just happens sometimes. And just because you go over there to date, why settle with what you have now? There's a whole sea out there, as some people would say.
Yeah.
I'm all. So
Or the other on the guy's side, maybe these guys don't want smart women. You know what I'm saying? These guys can bullshit more with people outside of America, right? And then the female or partner don't know any better. And so they feel more power with that. Where if you dated a black woman or or American woman, they're like, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I know how you make it McDonald's.
Well, I mean, smart. I'm all definitions of smart, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
Mama
We
Barbara,
have a special guest in the house. Mama Barbara, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, she can hear it. Yeah, we just deciding on who gonna have the headphone, who ain't.
Yeah, because we have like the 2 headphones. So we should probably like just take off the headphones like we did last time. Yeah.
So I'd like to hear, Mama Barbara's side of like
I hear your
these.
side of it.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. What do you think? Do you think these passport brothers who are going outside of America to seek partners because black women or American women are too strong or lacking in femininity, where they don't know their roles as a female versus a black man or a American man? Do you fault these guys going outside of America and finding partners? Mike.
We can hear you now. Can you hear
Okay.
us?
Yeah.
Do you fault guys, black men going outside of America to see?
No, I don't fault them.
Can't hear you.
No, I don't fault them
Why don't you fault them?
because I mean, if they don't want to act right over here, go somewhere else and find what you want.
Kind of like the your grandson that wants.
Oh,
Mm.
Emotional, damn it.
my thing is this:
Messy.
what somebody else does is not even my business.
Yeah.
Why are other people worried about what other people
That's
are
true.
doing? Stay in your lane and run your race. That's your business.
Yeah.
But I still think it goes both ways. Excuse me, it goes both ways. I think it's more a bigger deal to some people, like Black Twitter and stuff like that. I think it's a bigger deal to them because of the shortage of Black men and how many single Black women there are out here.
That's funny. When I was driving pre-COVID, Uber and Lyft, I was excited. I came back to the States. I'm gonna try this Uber Lyft thing. I've met a couple Black women passengers, and they're saying, I love San Diego, but there's really not a lot of Black eligible men here in San Diego. I'm not sure about any other cities. I go, what do you mean by eligible? What is your criteria of eligible? And so she was talking about, again, she has a criteria. You got to make this X amount of money. You got to look a certain way. You got to have a certain job and all that. And I said, well, there's a lot of Black men I see here, because nope, they're not acceptable for me.
See, the problem is, I'm thinking that she wants whatever, but the person that she needs is out there in the friend zone. Sometimes what you need and what you want don't line up. So are you going to be prideful and keep keep the idea of what you want, or are you going to bite the bullet and take a chance and you're going to jump off that cliff and get your wings on the way down?
Yeah.
Hopefully your faith will carry you to the person that you need. That same person that you probably put in the friend zone a long time ago is the person that you need. That's going to sit back and be real with you and tell you everything that you need to hear, not just be some yes man or whatever, just to appease you. The truth is medicine. It might taste nasty, but you still need it.
Yeah. Well, some of these vocal vocal women on social media.
Can we please
Or-
recognize the Eagles real quick? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, they hot right now. The
I
Eagles.
mean, no, we was just getting our topic.
Lord have
Nobody
mercy.
say nothing.
Lord have mercy.
I see it. I see it.
You see
I-
it. You see it. You just see it. That's all.
I give Phillies their props. They're doing their thing. I think this year they're gonna take it again. It was like
Yeah,
what, 2 years
yeah.
ago? 2 years ago
Yeah.
they took it. Yeah.
Sometimes we
Oh,
just need to hear it.
I don't know that AFC is serious, man. It could go either way.
Yeah. All right.
Real talk.
All right. So passport, brothers. There's some pros and there's some cons, and I think I understand on both sides why they're talking about it. Yeah, but it's guys who's going outside of America. It's been happening for decades, if not a generation of years. Yeah, in the military you see it often, but you see more now people going to Eastern Europe and that's why we have these TV shows, right? We call it 90 Day Fiance kind of thing, and so.
Hey man, I ain't gonna front, man. I'm tired of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and all that other stuff.
Yeah, what's that all about? Yeah.
I'm so sick of that. Man,
I'm
let
sick
it
of
go.
that.
That
Or have
concept
you
is
seen
stupid.
what is it? Love Circle? I'm not Love Circle.
Love is Blind?
Love is Blind.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man, let
No.
it go, man.
I
Reality
get tired of that. I feel like my brains are frying when I watch these movies, these TV shows,
I don't,
reality TV shows.
I don't even like just the commercial for them. I'm like, oh, it's cringeworthy. Like, I don't-
Yeah.
Even after getting scarred off of Flavor of Love with Flavor Flav, I'm like,
Flavor
oh,
Flav.
Do y'all remember the episode when the girl had pooped
yes,
Yeah.
on the floor.
on the floor?
Ew.
Bruh.
No, Flavor of Love, the girl, she had on a dress and they were going through the like eliminations,
Horrible.
and then she dropped some turns.
Yeah. She was leaving breadcrumbs for Hansel and Gretel.
Wow. All right. Let's go to our next topic here. So you guys sent this in to me. Hold on. It's trending right now. You guys sent me this article. Woman sees late husband who died 9 years earlier eating at a restaurant. There's a twist. So I'm going to tell you the story here. All right. Plenty of restaurants use social media as a way to promote their food and atmosphere. But one Indian eatery in England shared a video of happy diners enjoying their favorite dishes. They got a very unexpected response. The clip was captioned, "Join us for a perfect blend of exquisite flavors with classical and unique dishes inspired by ancient family recipes." But it wasn't the food that one woman saw. A woman was watching the video. This viewer named Lucy Watson responded to the clip by asking, how old is this footage? Because my late husband and his son are on the first shot, and my husband died in 2014. The restaurant responds, sorry to hear this. This footage was recorded last week.
Bruh.
All right, so unfortunately, Lucy never said anything else, leaving many wondering on the website what was happening. One person wrote, "Look, I need to know what's going on ASAP." And another stated, "We need closure. Someone chime in, explain what happened." So this is what happened. It was a video. It was planned because the video went viral.
You said the what?
The video went viral.
The video went viral, and the restaurant company and the marketing said it was faked.
Oh, okay. So it was fake.
So it wasn't true at all.
It wasn't true. It wasn't true. But say, does this happen? Have you ever heard this before? Where someone faked their death and like
Yeah, you
they're
can catch a
found
charge.
10 years ago?
You can catch a charge for that. Faking your death.
Insurance is life insurance fraud.
Mm.
It's okay. You good? You good? You drink some water. Your nose is.
But as in the video, for example, if it was real, the son was there, so the son knew that the dad was alive.
Wow.
Is that one way of escaping your partner? Like,
that's one way of escaping, but dang, you got to go through all of that. That means you got to like pay for a funeral
Yeah, that ain't cheap.
and wish for like a closed casket or something like that.
Yep. Hey, Edwin in the house. Good evening.
Edward,
Good
about
evening.
time.
NOG.
I think that.
I want to say that hi to Freddie Harmon. He's been with us a little bit. Tanya, thank you both so much for joining us.
Yep, Auntie Freddie Harmon.
Edwin saying hi, Miss Barbara.
She ready for you to sing to her again.
Hi, Miss Jones.
Emotional, damn it.
Hey, this is Parker.
All right. D3, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. Stand by.
What's happening, y'all? And, we got two special guests in the, I guess it's the nest because it's the bird cave right here. So, personally, it was certain things that I was thinking about. We had a pretty full weekend, and this is something I'm definitely glad that Mom Barbara's here. I've gotten to the point to where my wife and I, we would talk about certain things, and I was like, man, I wish I knew that when I was 17, or man, I wish I knew that when I was 12, or man, I wish I knew that when I was 25, because after the military, my 20s are a blur, you know. Shout out to Mad Dog. But anyway, I just want to ask y'all, if you had a choice, bearing your New Year's resolution, if you did one, if you had a choice to go back in time and talk to a previous version of yourself, whether you're in your 20s or you're a teenager or maybe even your 30s or whatever, if you're older than that, what would you say? What would you do? It had absolutely nothing to do with the lottery, of course, but what advice would you give yourself in your 20s or your 30s? I'm D3 and I got questions.
That's easy.
Let that look
Save your money.
Save your money.
Now would be not to move in with nobody until you're about to marry.
Yeah. Invest my money. Right. And I wish I had started my family earlier. So have kids. No matter how hard it was, have kids earlier. What's up?
How many kids did you want?
4.
And then, meanwhile, Anthony's over there laughing because he doesn't want any kids. That's fine though.
No, I was laughing because like Floyd over here is just like tooting his own horn every time. Bars. This is amazing. I got new shoes. New shoes. I think you should get a new jersey. I'll invest in the Eagles early.
Yeah, right.
No, it was just hilarious. That's all.
Yeah, I would. I think everybody would say that to yourself. Like, look, you can invest some money, man. You know.
Yeah.
Invest your money.
I wish I had done more investing early. I wish I had the financial mind now that I wish I had the financial mind that I have now. Then,
yeah,
I'd be in a we would be in a sweet space.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I don't know, just making bad choices when it came to like people, like not just people like as far as relationships, but like other people that you've given so much time to, and they're not worth your time.
You can't get that time back either.
Right.
Yeah. But you know what I feel like, I think we all kind of want to say that, like we regret having that type of relationship or friends. But you know what? I believe everybody comes into our life for a season and for a reason. Right? Whether it be 1 year, 2 years, and we've all been in the military, so we've had, strong relationships that's gone away. They all come for a reason. There's a reason they came in. They're here for a season, and they make who we are today. So I have no regrets. I do have regrets not knowing like this guy or girl is wasting my time. but there is a reason, and there's a reason and a season for them to be in part of your life. So
Yeah,
it
it
makes
is-
you a better
It
person.
is,
Yeah.
it is a growth process. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
'Cause I know back in the day, I wasn't ready for her. Mentally, I wasn't ready for her at all.
He's so crazy, but yeah, he wasn't, and I wasn't ready for him. You know,
Yeah.
so we had to go through what we went through to get to where we are today. But
Exactly. I think you're a better version of yourself now because of all the people you met
Yeah,
in your past lives,
yeah,
every relationship. So you know what you want for yourself. You know what's right for the relationship and where you want to go, and you're more tolerant. You know, you're more tolerant of things, of all the stupid stuff that we did when we were young, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
so.
And that, I know now to the point. I get to the point that where okay, so me being wrong, is that worth my emotion? Do I have to get upset about being wrong? Me being right, is that worth my emotion? Do I
Yeah.
have to rub it in somebody's face that I was right about something? That really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about how you make other people feel.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just my take on it. But real quick, I got another question though that pertains to another topic that we had earlier. So a lot of these women that had issues with, I guess, black men and the shortage of black men and the things that they're going through as far as not being able to find them.
right,
Even though in the United States there's a system put in place to where a man could not be present in your house, Section 8, would you still accept a $8 or $10 or single digit rent if that black man wasn't in your household? If you received that financial help from the government,
Mm.
would you still accept that, being that there still is a shortage of black men? I still got questions.
so Mom, how about you? She's like, what was the question?
If the sex was good, fuck, you know.
But you got they got $8 rent
what would you,
or $10 rent or whatever, but a man can't be in your household. That's basically telling you that they're separating you from that black man.
I
So
got
if that's the case, are you willing to accept that? But if you're willing to accept that, you can't complain about there not being eligible single black men out there,
understand.
because you just push one away so you can have cheaper bills.
Gotcha.
all right, Mom, answer the question.
No, I said I wouldn't have kids as early as I did. I was 17 when I had my first one.
Mm.
And I got married at 21.
Mm.
And I was setting more goals, and it would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
She gonna hit you.
Yeah.
That was
I'm still married 50 years later.
But regardless, her dumplings are the bomb. So,
Bumplings.
Yeah.
He said a bumper.
So-
dumplings are the bomb. Whatever.
So answer me this: why is it now that our generations are having families later versus the boomers or our parents, where by the time you're 21, 22, 23, it's expected of you to have kids in a family. But now we're waiting till like 29, 30, 40 years old to have families.
I personally think it's always been expected, because sometimes, but then at the same time, you know how they were throwing that biological clock out there, and a lot of times women feel that pressure. Oh, your biological clock is ticking. You don't have no kids. You ain't married. All you've been doing is catching a bouquet as a bridesmaid and stuff like that. But that's internal pressure. But my mom told me straight up, she's like, if I knew some of the stuff that I knew now, I would have had you and my siblings a lot later. And me personally, I'm glad of the situation that I'm in now, because I had my daughter later and she's off the chain. So everything worked out. It all worked out.
But you know what? It's crazy because our parents, including my parents too, and my uncles and auntie, they were E1s, E2s, and E3s in starting families, and they barely made it through. But a lot of my uncles and aunties and myself, we're older now.
A lot of people.
Is it about money?
A lot of people.
Is it about money
or because of BHA?
No, it's BAH.
What is it?
What's a BHA?
Basic
BHA.
housing allowance.
DVD,
Cola.
V,
BHA, basic housing allowance.
VH1. Yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Anyone who's like saying can't afford the life you want
Yes,
and the
yeah.
life
He
you
said
need.
VH1.
So that is another reason. But man, if you go to, I've been to the Philippines almost every year, and I have a cousin, 8 kids, and they barely make $200 a month.
Oh,
Wow. Now,
Yeah, probably now too.
God.
where they live in a TP? I mean, no, where they live in?
They have a house, but
Their house?
They in little
But it's
shoebox.
cheaper in the Philippines, though, right?
so the statement that Edwin said, can't afford the life you want and the life you need. But will that hinder you from having a family?
Well, that's one of the things that Dave Ramsey try to make sure that he doesn't put kids into the equation, which again goes to show that personal finance needs to be personal. Because if you're sitting around with 5 kids and you're talking about saving $1,000, that ain't happening. $1,000 isn't going to get you anything when you got 5 mouths to feed,
No.
including the wife. If she's not working either. So, and I've heard multiple situations where people will go to a one parent going to work while everybody else stay home because it's cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the article in New York Times, and they were just saying like the jobs are demanding, children are demanding.
Yeah.
Just saying like, just fertility rates are down. It's just all in general. So
that's true. Actually, thinking about that, not having enough daycare, not having medical, not having a roof over your house, people working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. It's hard to raise a family. Where back, in the boomer days, or even Generation X early on in 70s, 60s, and 70s, or even 80s, one job was enough.
minimum wage,
Right?
Yeah.
One job was enough, and everything was taken care of.
No.
College was like affordable.
Everybody's always trying to. It seems like people are just trying to compete. They say on a competitive level sometimes. Like, act your age. I'm just saying.
Act your age.
Act your age.
But just to talk about part of that, acting your wage is also not throwing it in people's face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, it seems like people we talk about sometimes when people always say, "Oh yeah, I got this. This costs like $400."
Yeah.
Like, didn't ask you, but okay, that's cute.
I'm not trying to brag on my wife or nothing like that, but I'm gonna put it out there. She said, if you ever buy me a bag that's $300, $400 some dollars, the same money that I can use in a vacation, I'm gonna kick you in the throat.
Oh.
And I looked at her, I was like, "Ooh, I love you even more."
Because I feel like this
Man.
when it comes to bags and stuff like that. I've been there, done that, got a T-shirt, and I thought it was stupid after the fact when I look back at it. Like, what are you doing with a Louis bag? Like, for real, you don't have a Louis account.
$3,000.
And Louis ain't did jack.
Hey,
No,
yeah,
$20,000 Rolex watch. God damn, $20,000.
What? For what?
I'm gonna just say this, like, and females will say, nah. But listen, when you buy a bag, a lot of times it ain't for yourself. You're looking for comments from other hoes because I'm just saying, you never see guys come, girl, that's a bad Chanel bag. If it is, it's probably EJ.
Yeah, he don't want you.
Yeah,
at all.
It's probably Magic Johnson's son.
Yeah,
or Dwayne Wayne's son.
He want testicles.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Men, think about it. How many women do y'all
testicles?
How many women have you walked up to and it's like, oh my God, she got a bad purse, girl, you gonna get this.
Oh, look at them shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So
no, I don't say that.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I think once I thought about that, I'm just like, I don't know, dude be looking at me like that. My wallet could be falling apart. But
I'm a Ross, Marshall, and Burlington kind of guy. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, what those they said the stuff in the Boss was it Ross and Burlington? They said there's nothing wrong with them.
Nope.
They're just slightly irregular.
Nope.
So,
I mean, I'm slightly irregular.
One of the sleeves might be longer than the other, but roll both of them up.
I like it. All right.
How do you think they got Gordon Gartrell?
Exactly. No, they got some top brands in there. It's like a treasure hunt, you know. Yeah, I have no shame. Marshall, Burlington, Ross.
TJ
All right, I
Maxx.
want to get to our last episode here because I think you guys gonna like this, and actually, I'm pretty sure Mama Barbara is gonna chime in on this. Hold on, stand by. So a brand new segment called "Am I the Asshole?" Here you go. A little bit long here, but I think it's relevant. This is the hashtag horny wife. Here goes. My husband had to spend 2 months in a different state for work. He came back 9 days ago, and I'm obviously thrilled that he's back, and I missed him a lot. I was hoping we were able, we would be able to spend some time together, just the two of us. However, his mom came over when he was supposed to come back home. I was slightly annoyed, but I knew she was excited for her son to be back. However, she never left. Like she was prepared to deal with her being there. I wasn't prepared for her to being there for 9 days. I thought maybe she'll be here for a day or two. Because she's been there for 9 days, we haven't had a second of time together. She insists on staying here instead of hotel. For the record, she lives an hour away from the house. The guest room is right next to ours, and the walls are thin. When the two of us go out, she comes with us or makes one of us stay with her because she says otherwise that's bad host. She follows us around the house constantly. We want to cuddle, watch movies, and she's sitting right next to us in the armchair. We want to go to a romantic restaurant for three, but for two, but actually I have to make it for three. We haven't even left her. We've even left her in the living room to go chat in our room, and she follows us.
No.
Earlier today, I just asked her to leave, even though both of us have been hinting that she needs to leave. She kept on saying she wasn't ready to go yet and wanted more time with her son. I tried telling her she wanted some alone time. We wanted some alone time, and she kept insisting that she join us. Finally, I snapped and said, "Since it seems you're too oblivious to our hints, I'll put it bluntly. I want to fuck your son."
Oh, God.
Oh,
If you don't want to see or hear, then you need to leave. Not the classiest response, but I was frustrated anyway. She yelled at me, but eventually left. We finally got our alone time, but now she's blowing up her phones, saying I'm disgusting, I'm crude, no respect for her son, myself. And she keeps telling my husband that she shouldn't be with someone who's so crude, and how dare she speak to her like that. Was I inappropriate? Am I the asshole?
No, she's not.
For the wife to step in to talk and speak up for her husband, that's where you go to. You have a weak man. I mean, if you want to go back to the original, is he weak for standing up for himself and actually speaking his mind and saying how he feels to his mother?
talk your stuff.
Yeah, or the wife should have just like, "Hey, you need to handle this, or I'm done."
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Absolutely.
So she's the asshole? Who's the asshole?
Ain't no asshole.
Ain't all of them. Actually, he is. He
Yeah,
is.
all them assholes.
No, I say he is because obviously the mother,
Go ahead.
yeah,
You
the
would
mother and the
think-
wife were
Oh,
actually vocal about what they had to say, but the
Yeah.
husband wasn't. So he did. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's all I got.
Mhm.
But you don't think that the mom couldn't get the hint? Like, hey man.
She needed to hear it from her son. She didn't want to hear it from her.
Right. Daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If my mom came over like that, I'll be straight up, Mom. You gotta go, man. Why?
Right,
I gotta
but
go.
you used to.
I gotta do some boom boom.
Right. You
I
said
gotta make
that,
you.
not-
I gotta make you a grandchild. That's what I'm saying.
How would it make you feel if your wife said that to your mom?
I'm just gonna say it like this,
You
like, bruh, mama, you know how I got here. So we finna make bacon.
She wouldn't have been with me that long. Follow me
Yeah.
around like that.
I don't think she. I think she's frustrated. So to me, it's the husband's asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have
Yeah,
stepped in. It shouldn't
But
even
that
got to
was
the
his
point.
mom. And
Yeah.
you know, the daughter-in-law, they don't want to hear from her like that.
That's true.
She got fed up.
Yeah.
She did, so
The two women were frustrated because she didn't get the hint or he wanted to spend more time. The wife didn't insist that the husband, you need to talk to your mom. Like, we need to get some alone time, make some grandkids. And I don't want to say, I want to say it nicely. So,
Hey, or they could just crush some. They can crush some Benadryl in mom's drink.
put her to sleep.
you're a grown ass man or woman. Like, look, your
Lay
mom,
it down.
hey, mama, you got to go, man. I need to make some grandkids. I got to do some boom boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's a long time. My mom,
He said some boom boom.
It's called the Botswana booty bounce and the double dookie dip.
Oh my
Ooh.
god. So basically, Carla and
D3.
yeah, Carla and D3. Mama Barbara comes over. D3 has been gone for about 2 weeks.
Oh, she already knows what's going on. She the main one telling you, right? You're waiting for you to handle your business, and then she'll go in a room that's nowhere near ours. So
Yeah.
we good.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh,
she
we good.
Or Carla and Mama Barbara got that the black silent look.
Y'all see it? I ain't gotta
Mama?
say nothing.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
plus-
Mama.
if plus we put a swing up in the bed.
Mama.
So we-
Mama. you gotta go. All right, happy Sunday, everybody. Highway 54. God, I got so much good topics. Can we give it up for Mama Barbara for joining us today?
Mom on the podcast
Oh,
acting
you
brand
stuck
new.
your finger in my-
Oh Lord. Booger Presley.
I know. I'd like to thank our commenters out there, Edwin, Tanya, Freddie. Who else was out there?
And let's see, there's Tanya, Freddie, Mama Barbara.
Yep.
And we pulled her in, snatched her in, and whoever else is viewing. Thank you.
And can we say go Phillies?
You said Phillies.
Oh,
Eagles.
that's baseball.
Eagles.
That's baseball.
Oh, Eagles.
Ah. Look at the jersey.
Emotional damage.
Look at the jersey.
Right.
Emotional
Right
damage.
The Philadelphia Eagles. Are they flying today?
Flying
They,
high.
they flying and pooping on people's cars. Skeet, skeet.
All right, guys. My name is DJ Kid Mango. We've got Coach Anthony from About That Wallet, Carla, D3, and Mama Barbara in the house.
About that wallet.
guys.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. See you guys next week.
Hi, Renee. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Edwin.
We hope you enjoyed the show today. Do us a favor and click on the like button or share our podcast. Thanks for listening. Till next time, we are Highway 54.